All right, welcome back to another National PSI Real Estate Exam Prep. And today we're going to talk about leasehold estates and leases. And more specifically, we're going to go over 5 questions to which we think that you're going to see some variation of on your PSI National Real Estate Exam and give you the explanations of to why they are the answer. Question number 1: who holds the least fee estate? The leaseor. A fee estate denotes ownership rights in real property. When someone leases a property, they possess a leased fee estate. Upon the expiration of the lease, the possession rights shift back from the leasee, the tenant, to the leaseor, the landlord. Question number 2: does a holdover tenant have an estate in leasehold property after the lease is over? Yes. And this is a less than freehold estate at sufferance. A tenant who remains on the property after the lease term concludes is referred to as a holdover tenant and holds a less than freehold estate at sufferance. Considered the lowest estate in real property according to legal terms. Ownership in land is represented by a freehold estate, whereas a fee simple defeasible estate, also a form of ownership, carries the risk of losing title to property if a specified condition is breached. Question number 3: a tenant who rents an apartment from the owner of the property holds a leasehold interest. A leasehold interest represents a temporary right of possession. For instance, an individual renting an apartment possesses a leasehold interest. In contrast, a license is a revocable personal right and doesn't qualify as property interest. Unlike a leasehold interest, a freehold interest signifies ownership without a defined time limit. An easement, on the other hand, grants the right to use another person's land for a specific purpose, but does not confer any ownership interest in the land to the holder. Question number 4: a tenant is renting a residential apartment unit. The term is month to month. When the tenant pays the rent, the leasehold tenancy renews automatically. If either party wants to terminate the arrangement, advance notice must be given to the other party. Which of the following describes the leasee's estate? A periodic tenancy. A non-freehold estate pertains to the possession of the leased property by the tenant, also known as the leasee. In this scenario, we are specifically describing a non-freehold periodic estate commonly referred to as a periodic tenancy. On the flip side, a leased fee estate denotes ownership held by the leaseor or the landlord. A fee simple defeasible estate is a form of ownership that carries a condition, violation of which may lead to a loss of ownership. Furthermore, a non-freehold estate at sufferance characterizes the situation when a holdover tenant remains on the property after the lease has expired. And question number 5: the lease was for 1 year, and 1 week after the termination of the lease, the tenant was still on the property without the permission of the new owner. What was the leasee's estate in the property? An estate at sufferance. A tenant remaining on the property without the landlord's consent after the lease expires possession an estate known as estate at sufferance or tenancy at sufferance and is commonly referred to as a holdover tenant. It is important to note that in this situation, the tenant holds the estate at sufferance while the property owner is the party experiencing the inconvenience due to the tenant's extended stay beyond the lease termination. There are 3 primary types of freehold estates of ownership: fee simple absolute, fee simple defeasible, and a life estate. The test question specifically addresses the estate held by the tenant rather than the owner. All right, these were 5 questions to help you pass your PSI National Real Estate Exam. If these were helpful, give us a thumbs up and subscribe because we are dropping a new video every week to help you pass your PSI National Real Estate Exam.